See, I've been training all my life to reach my present day price. I've been working in the dark just to extend the life.
What's up, people? Ross Robinson here, and today I am doing a sponsorship video. Now, I get quite a few questions here and there on social media, Instagram or Facebook, about, hey Ross, how do I become a professional snowmobiler? How do I get sponsored? And questions along those lines. So I answer all of them, but instead of answering them, I wanted to make a video that would cover it, so you know, I can get a little bit more in depth through words than just typing kind of generic responses or responses that really don't get into detail and cover what the message I'm trying to convey when I talk about sponsorship. So before I start telling everybody how it is and this is what you need to do to get sponsored, I want to remind you that I'm only 22 years old. I've been doing this for about 8 years, and I'm no superstar either. So I do know a few things. I do have some amazing sponsors that support me and help me do what I want to do in the snowmobile world and in other worlds, but no, I'm not the big dog. So there are definitely things that I'm still learning and I'm still trying to figure out as I progress and as time goes on. So the first thing that we need to understand when we talk about sponsorship is the sponsor is giving you something, right? When you are asking to be sponsored, you are wanting something from a company, a person, whatever it may be. You are asking for this. You're usually asking for product, and if you're a real big shot, you're asking for some money. So what you have to figure out is, how are you creating value for this company? What can you give the company that will make them say, yeah, let's give them free product, let's give them money, let's give them a discount, let's give them whatever they're asking for. What do you bring to the table? Because it has to be, it has to go both ways. It's a two-way street. So this company has to believe in what you're doing and believe that you give them value. So one of the biggest things, especially right now in this technology crazy social media world, is content, influence. If you have an audience that you can give this content to people, if you can promote in a good way, a good professional or honest way, companies like that. But you have to remember that there's hundreds of people out there doing it as well. You're not the only guy that's trying to figure out how to get sponsored, how to go pro. So you have to know you have some competition out there and you have to do it better. You also have to be able to differentiate yourself from these other guys. So if you decide that you want to create content, then it has to be awesome and honest. And my biggest pet peeve when I see people creating content or promoting a company is the pitchman style. It doesn't seem honest. It's very, very just like, check out my new energy bar from yada yada yada, it's the greatest thing ever. Just like reading a list of things, blind promotion. And you know, that could be the greatest product ever and they could truly believe that, but man, it really is hard for me to believe when you're just pitching it like that, right? So I like to promote in ways that are a little bit less straightforward, a little bit more, you know, subtle, but you still see what products I'm using and all this kind of stuff. I believe that if you're following me and watch what I do, you're gonna figure out what I'm using or what I'm doing or all this kind of stuff, right? I try not to be just so in your face with it, because that really loses touch with the audience. I want to be personable when I'm talking to you guys. So can you bring that kind of content? That's a great way to do it. You have to be able to build an audience or start to build an audience, and you have to set yourself apart. There's other ways to do it as well. They all kind of follow this general guidelines of you have to create value to this company that you want to get sponsored by. So if you're a racer or competing in any sort of way, you know, that is also a huge way, especially if you're winning, because companies love when you win using their product, because their product is helping you win. Or you can say, I am winning using this product, right? That's a great approach. So if you race, compete, any of that stuff, that is a huge thing for you guys. So I don't do that. I don't compete or race really in any way. That's very large. I do a little bit here and there, but that is one of the ways that you can really maximize if you're a racer. So I bank more on the content and me selling myself as a brand to you guys. Well, I want to pause real quick because my lens flare right now on my phone is popping. Anyways, so what you guys need to remember is I'm shooting this on a cell phone, right? Everybody has a cell phone these days. Everybody has an Instagram account. So it's just, how can you guys get content out and give people what they want to see? So let's bring it back to kind of how I started, so you guys have some reference on how I got some of my very first sponsorships. So I was 15 or 16, riding a lot, sledding a ton. I was a pretty decent little rider, and we ended up getting a decent camera for my dad for Father's Day, and we would go out and he would take photos. And I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And I would send these photos to companies of me wearing their gear. And I'd be like, hey, you can use this however you like, all this kind of stuff. And now everybody's creating so much and getting so many photos that, you know, that's not going to be as much help, but it was a start, and that was the thing. You just start and continue to leverage, and I continue to try to give content and really just brand myself to these companies so that they would hopefully give me something, or also give me exposure. That's what I was really after, and that's what I love, is when people help me get out there and grow my audience as well. So I started doing that. One thing led to another, and I just kind of figured it out. And you know, I had an amazing opportunity when I worked for Chris at BBA, and I tried to leverage that as much as possible. And now on my own, trying to do some other things and grow an audience, and it's tough. You know, just always learning and trying to figure out what else to do. So always trying to figure out how to bring value to companies. One thing I want to warn you guys about is, when you're starting to get sponsors, or you're trying to get sponsored, be ready to spend some money, and here's why. So you've sent out all these emails, you're very nice, professional, don't be like, hey, give me this free stuff, where's my sponsorship? But yeah, you'll never even get a response back, right? Remember, you are taking up these people's working hours where they're getting paid, asking for free things. So be very respectful. Try to build a relationship and say, what can you provide, right? That's the biggest thing. Then understand that the deal's probably not going to be that sweet at first, especially if you're young and just getting started and you don't have any other sponsors, or, you know, you're not winning World Cups or doing anything massive. You're low on the totem pole, so you have to understand that the deal might not be that good, but take what you can, right? 50% off is great, right? It's better than paying full price. And go after companies you believe in, because you're gonna much rather take that 50% off from a company that you're gonna buy their stuff anyways. But now you can promote them and tell everybody why you think they're so cool while getting a deal on it. And then that deal, you just continue to build off that, prove yourself, and grow and grow and grow. So I think a lot of people get hung up on the riding and, you know, the best athlete out there. You don't have to be the absolute best athlete in the world. You better be pretty damn good, but you don't have to be the best, right? There's so much more to it. It's more of a business side thing. So remember, keep riding hard, chase your dreams, do what you want to do. And if you're trying to get sponsored, I hope some of these tips helped you. Just be yourself and be authentic. Don't get all caught up in the, like, check out this, check out that, all this kind of stuff. It's hard not to do, but figure out ways to do it. Figure out how you can create value for the company that you're going after, or the companies, the sponsors. And I wish the best to you, and hopefully I'll see you guys out on the snow. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.